For your entire life, you have been told that sleeping in the afternoon is a bad habit that ruins your night and signals something is wrong with your health. Millions of people over 60 fight that heavy, irresistible wave of drowsiness after lunch every single day out of guilt, out of fear, out of a rule nobody ever questioned. But a team of neuroscientists studying the regions on Earth where people routinely live past 100 just published findings that overturn everything we thought we knew about afternoon rest. A short, specific type of daytime sleep does not harm your brain or steal from your night. It activates a biological cleaning system that exists inside every human skull. A system that only switches on when your eyes are closed, and without it running regularly, your memory, your cardiovascular health, and your mental sharpness are quietly paying a price every single day. The discovery that changed everything came out of the University of Rochester in 2013, and it was considered one of the most significant neuroscience breakthroughs in 50 years. Researchers identified a network of microscopic channels woven through the brain tissue called the glymphatic system. The name combines the word glial, referring to the support cells that manage this network, and lymphatic, because it functions similarly to the lymphatic system that cleans the rest of your body. Its purpose is to flush out the metabolic waste that your brain accumulates while you are awake and active. Every time you think, process an emotion, hold a conversation, or simply keep your eyes open and your senses engaged, your brain cells produce biological waste as a natural byproduct of that activity. One of those waste products is a protein called amyloid beta, the same protein that accumulates in the brain plaques associated with Alzheimer's disease and cognitive decline. The glymphatic system's job is to clear that protein before it builds up. But the critical detail, the one that changes how you should think about every afternoon for the rest of your life, is this. The glymphatic system operates at nearly full capacity only during sleep. When you are awake, it is running at roughly 10% efficiency. Every hour you spend fighting your afternoon drowsiness instead of resting is an hour of waste accumulation that the night alone may not be enough to fully reverse. Scientists did not need to look far to find living proof that humans have always known this instinctively. They found it in the places where people forget to die. On the Greek island of Ikaria, nearly 1 in 3 residents lives past 90, and rates of dementia are a fraction of what they are in the United States and Northern Europe. Harvard Medical School researchers spent years studying this island and found one habit that appeared consistently across the longest-lived residents: a regular midday rest of 20 to 30 minutes after the largest meal of the day. They published a study tracking over 23,000 adults in Greece for 6 years and found that people who napped regularly had a 37% lower risk of dying from cardiovascular disease than those who never rested during the day. 37% not from a new drug, not from a surgical procedure, not from an expensive supplement protocol. From closing their eyes for 20 minutes after lunch, the researchers concluded that regular midday rest reduces levels of the stress hormone cortisol in the cardiovascular system in a way that is difficult to replicate through any other single intervention. In Spain, the siesta has been practiced for centuries not as a cultural luxury but as a biological adaptation to the natural circadian rhythm dip that every human being experiences between 1 and 3 in the afternoon. This dip is not caused by a heavy lunch or poor nighttime sleep. It is hardwired into human physiology: a second wave of melatonin, a slight drop in core body temperature, a measurable reduction in alertness that occurs regardless of how well you slept the night before. Your body was designed to rest at this hour. The cultures that honored that design lived longer because of it. In Okinawa, Japan, one of the original 5 blue zones identified by researcher Dan Buettner, the concept of rest woven into the daily rhythm is called inamuri. It translates roughly as sleeping while present, and it carries no social stigma whatsoever. An elderly person closing their eyes in a chair after lunch, on a park bench, or even during a gentle social gathering is seen not as lazy or unwell but as someone who understands how to care for their body. Okinawan centenarians, when interviewed about their daily habits, consistently describe a natural rhythm of activity and rest that flows throughout the day rather than concentrating all recovery into a single nighttime block. Researchers who studied their sleep patterns found something that contradicted every assumption Western medicine had been making. The Okinawan elders who napped regularly actually had better nighttime sleep quality than same-age adults in Western countries who never rested during the day. The afternoon rest was not competing with the night, it was protecting it. By clearing accumulated adenosine, the chemical that builds up while you are awake and creates the feeling of tiredness. A short midday rest meant the body arrived at nighttime with a more balanced neurochemical environment rather than an overloaded one. The siesta, the inamuri, the afternoon pause, they were never signs of weakness. They were the most intelligent thing these cultures ever did for their brains. But here is where the science gets specific, and where most people who try napping fail completely. Not all afternoon rest produces these benefits. There is a precise window that activates the glymphatic flush and resets the nervous system, and there is a duration that destroys the entire benefit and leaves you feeling worse than before you laid down. That duration is anything over 25 minutes. When you sleep for 45 minutes or more during the day, your brain crosses into a stage called slow-wave deep sleep. Deep sleep is essential and powerful at night, but when you enter it in the middle of the afternoon and then force yourself awake, you trigger a phenomenon called sleep inertia. Sleep inertia is the heavy, disoriented, almost nauseating grogginess that makes you feel like you are moving through wet concrete for the next hour or two. Your reaction time slows, your mood drops, your concentration becomes worse than it was before you rested. This is the experience that gave napping its terrible reputation in Western culture. People slept too long, woke up feeling miserable, blamed the nap, and concluded that afternoon rest was bad for them. The nap was not the problem. The duration was the problem. Staying strictly within the 20-minute window keeps your brain in sleep stages 1 and 2, the lightest levels, where the glymphatic activation happens, cortisol drops, the nervous system resets, and adenosine clears, all without ever triggering the deep sleep cycle that causes the grogginess. When your 20-minute alarm rings, your brain is ready to emerge. You wake up genuinely refreshed because you never went somewhere that required a long journey back. The environment where you rest matters almost as much as the duration, and this is the second mistake that undermines the nap for most people. Getting into your actual bed in the afternoon sends a powerful and deeply conditioned signal to your brain. Your bedroom, your pillow, your heavy covers, the darkness of drawn curtains, these are all neurological cues that your brain has been trained over decades to associate with the beginning of a long, deep nighttime sleep. When you recreate those conditions at 2 in the afternoon, your brain responds as programmed. It accelerates the transition into deep sleep far faster than it would in a neutral environment, pulling you past the 20-minute threshold before you even realize what happened. The result is the 45-minute grogginess you were trying to avoid. The most effective environment for a restorative afternoon rest is a comfortable armchair or a sofa in a room where natural daylight is still present, a light blanket if you feel cool, but not the heavy bed covers, soft ambient light rather than complete darkness. These environmental cues communicate to your brain that this is a brief pause in the waking day, not the beginning of the night, and your brain keeps the sleep light and the wake up easy and natural. Now here is the technique that modern sleep research has validated as the most powerful way to amplify the 20-minute rest. And the first time most people hear it, they are convinced it cannot possibly work. It is called the caffeine nap, and it has been tested in controlled studies at Loughborough University in the United Kingdom with results that surprised even the researchers who designed the experiment. The protocol is precise and the timing is everything. Immediately before lying down for your 20-minute rest, you drink a small cup of black coffee or a cup of green tea. Not after waking, not while resting, immediately before closing your eyes. The biology that makes this work is based on a fact that most people never learn about the beverage they drink every morning. Caffeine does not enter your bloodstream the moment it touches your lips. It takes between 15 and 25 minutes for caffeine to move through your digestive system, enter your bloodstream, travel to your brain, reach the adenosine receptors where it produces its alerting effect. While you are enjoying your 20-minute rest, the caffeine is making its way quietly through your system. And at the precise moment your alarm rings, adenosine has been partially cleared by the sleep itself, and the caffeine arrives at receptors that have just been emptied and are fully ready to receive it. The two mechanisms stack perfectly on top of each other. Study participants who used the caffeine nap protocol consistently reported dramatically superior alertness, mental clarity, and sustained afternoon energy compared to using either caffeine or a nap alone. You wake up feeling like a different person, not groggy, not overstimulated, genuinely, cleanly awake, ready to enjoy the second half of your day. One question remains that keeps many people from ever trying the afternoon rest in the first place. Will this ruin my sleep at night? The research is clear and the boundary is specific. Naps taken before 3 in the afternoon have no measurable negative effect on nighttime sleep quality or duration in healthy adults. The body of evidence across dozens of studies consistently shows that a 20-minute rest before mid-afternoon does not reduce sleep pressure enough to delay falling asleep or reduce deep sleep at night. The boundary begins after 4 in the afternoon, when a nap starts to compete with the natural accumulation of sleep pressure. Your body needs to transition smoothly into nighttime rest. The timing of your rest matters as much as its duration. A 20-minute rest at 2 in the afternoon is a longevity tool. The same rest at 5 in the afternoon is a disruption. For adults over 60 who already experience lighter or more fragmented nighttime sleep, protecting the pre-3 window is even more important. The Ikarian and Okinawan elders were not resting at sunset. They were pausing at the biological midpoint of their waking day, using rest as a deliberate reset, not a compensation for exhaustion. And the result was visible not just in how long they lived, but in how independently, how sharply, and how joyfully they lived at 80, 90, and 100 years old. Here is the complete protocol, assembled from everything the research and the world's longest living cultures have taught us. After your largest meal of the day, sometime between 1 and 3 in the afternoon, prepare a small cup of black coffee or green tea. Drink it slowly and comfortably. Then move to your armchair or sofa, not your bed, in a room with natural soft light still present. Set a timer for exactly 20 minutes. Close your eyes and allow your breathing to slow naturally without forcing anything. You do not need to fall fully asleep for the benefits to begin. Even a state of quiet, relaxed wakefulness with eyes closed activates a partial glymphatic flush and produces a measurable reduction in cortisol. If you do drift into light sleep, the 20-minute alarm ensures you surface before crossing into deep sleep. When the alarm sounds, the caffeine has arrived, the brain has been washed, the nervous system has reset. Open your eyes slowly, take 2 deep breaths, stand up, and notice what the afternoon feels like now. This is not self-indulgence. This is not laziness. This is not a guilty pleasure. This is the afternoon ritual of the people who have lived the longest, sharpest, and most independent lives in all of recorded human history. It has been available to you every single day. The only thing that was missing was the permission to use it. Tomorrow after lunch, I want you to try the caffeine nap protocol exactly as described. Drink your coffee, find your armchair, set your 20-minute timer, and leave a comment below telling me how you felt when the alarm went off. If you have been fighting that afternoon crash for years, one single day is all it takes to feel the difference. Subscribe to Longevity Coffee and turn on the bell notification, because in the next video I am going to show you a 10-second test you can do right now in your living room that scientists use to measure your real biological age. All you need is a chair,